Do you know that you need to move more and start exercising? Are you wondering exactly what you should be doing, and is it even worth it? Maybe you're struggling to develop some consistency in your exercise routine. Well, today I'm going to be talking all about how to get started exercising and to do it in a way that feels good and that is good for your body too. So if you're not quite sure what to do to get started exercising, then this episode is for you. And I also wanted to share with you guys, I have a fun giveaway happening in my Facebook group or also on Instagram this week. So I've partnered with a company called Paloma Health, and they test your thyroid at home. And there's also doctors in their company that you can get in touch with if your thyroid is off. And they use more of a holistic approach. So one, I love testing at home. And two, I love when doctors actually look at the thyroid more holistically, because if your doctor's just testing your TSH and not looking at free T3, free T4, reverse T3, these other parts, then you may not get a full picture of your thyroid. And especially if you feel like your weight loss is stuck or something like that, you really want to make sure that you're getting this tested correctly. So head to my Facebook group. There's going to be a link down below, or Instagram, and join the giveaway. They are giving me 3 tests to give away. So I am super excited about that. I will be testing my thyroid again this year. It's just a great way to be empowered in your health and be getting the care that you need to. And because, guys, women are more likely, 8 times more likely than men, to develop a thyroid condition. So head to the Facebook group or Instagram and check out the post so you guys can be entered into the giveaway. Hi, friends, and welcome to the Healthy Beyond 40 show. I'm Michelle, mama 4 and military wife, and I'm passionate about helping women get healthy from the inside out so they can feel better and live their best life. Do you feel like you're struggling to lose weight and get in shape? If you're ready to develop healthier habits, exercise consistently, and lose weight sustainably, then you're in the right place. I combine my expertise from my doctorate in physical therapy to my experience as a health coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher to bring you actionable steps for a healthy lifestyle. No magic pill here, so lace up those shoes and get moving. All right, guys, let's dive into the topic today, exercise. And before we get started, remember that I define movement and exercise differently. So movement is getting those steps in, walking, just moving our body around, and exercise is where we're going to feel those muscles burning and or maybe getting our heart rate up. So as we talk about this topic today, I want you guys to keep in mind that God created our bodies for movement. We are meant to move our bodies. In the history of humankind, we used to move our bodies and exercise our bodies a lot more. And a lot of time that strength training and different movement was just incorporated into people's daily lives. So now that we have a lot more sedentary jobs, sedentary lives, we need to be more intentional about putting movement and putting exercise into our daily life. This is one of my favorite things to start clients with, because you can exercise at home. You don't have to go to the gym. So maybe you're intimidated by the gym. You don't know what to do when you get there, or you don't like all the people watching you, or you don't have the time to drive there, drive back, go into the locker room, do all the things. At home makes it so convenient. And this is what I have done for a long time now for myself, is I just work out at home. So I'm not against people going to the gym or going to a class, but if it starts to become a barrier to you consistently exercising, then I encourage you to switch to doing things at home or maybe a mix of things. So today we're going to be talking specifically about strength training. So strength training is when you are working your muscles. And you know you're working your muscles when you can feel that burn. So maybe you're doing some bicep curls and then you feel those muscles burning. And what that means is that those muscles, the cells in there are going to break down, they're going to build up, and they're going to become stronger. Strength training also increases our bone strength, which is super important as we get older. When you look at the older population, falls and breaking bones are a big thing. So we want to strengthen our bones. And what happens when we're doing strength training, or even things like walking where you're putting a little bit of that stomp or anything like with a jump, when you're putting a stress on your bones, it makes your bones rebuild themselves stronger. So there's a lot of benefits to strength training. It also helps our metabolism. So when we do strength training and we're putting on muscle, then that means the more muscle we have, the more calories we are going to burn when we're doing nothing. So this can be a huge help to our metabolism. It just makes us feel better when you can lift up something. I have a client who helps care for somebody else, and she has been surprised at how much easier that has been for her because she has been doing strength training. She's also been eating better. She's in a better place with her body, and her body feels better. It is stronger. So adding some type of strength training is really important, and it impacts more than just our muscles. It impacts how we feel. It impacts our confidence when we are stronger. So there's different ways that you can do strength training. There's body weight. So you can think of just doing squats. Push-ups are body weight. Pull-ups are body weight. Those are pretty hard. But there's lots of different ways we can work our muscles just using our body weights. We can also use bands. They're a great option that is not very expensive. So those elastic bands that stretch, you can have it as just a strip. They also make some that are in circles. And again, as long as you are doing that and you're feeling that muscle work and burn, then that means you're working your muscles and you're going to build more strength. Another thing you can do is use hand weights. So this is a great investment to make if you are going to exercise at home. My hand weights I've had since college, which is, I don't know, like over 20 years ago. So they hold up well and you can keep them. So I like having a variety of weights, little ones down to 2 or 3 pounds, up to I like to have 5, 8, 10, 12, and maybe even 15 if you're at it, depending what exercise. But having that variety of weights, because our bigger muscles like our legs and our chest are going to be able to lift more weights. Our smaller muscles, like some of those in our shoulders, are only going to be able to lift lighter weights. So it helps to have a little bit of variety. The other thing you can do if you're going to a gym, or some people have a little bit of equipment in their house, is a certain type of a machine. And a machine helps to just control the movement a little bit more than free weights, but you don't really need machines. You can do a lot with just weights. The other way you can do strength training is something like yoga or Pilates. And there's a lot of different classes out there, so not all of them are going to be strength training. Typically, when I teach yoga, it is more of a strength-based yoga. So that means, again, we're doing positions where we're feeling those muscles work. So we might be holding some type of warrior or lunge pose, and we're going to feel those muscles burning. They might shake a little bit. Same thing if we come into a plank. Or if we're doing Pilates things and we're laying our side and we're lifting that top leg, we're going to feel that muscle work. And that's where the strength training comes in. So let's talk about how often you should do strength training. And this varies a little bit what you're doing, because you could strength train most days of the week. You just want to make sure that you're doing different things. So a lot of times when I'm setting a program up for clients or even for myself, I typically alternate between a full body strength training program. So I'm doing arms, legs, core. Then I might do yoga the next day. And the thing is, when I'm doing that full weight strength training program, I'm using weights. I'm doing less reps, and we'll get into that in a bit. When I'm doing yoga, I might be holding things longer. There might be more stretching. There might be more balance. So there's some variety. So I might alternate those days. But I definitely recommend that no matter what, you're trying to strength train at least 3 times a week. And this is because we lose muscle mass very quickly. So you can probably imagine for yourself, maybe there was a time you were sick, or maybe now you just haven't worked out in a while and your muscles are weak. We lose it very fast. So we want to make sure that we're doing it every 48 to 72 hours. And we don't have to be super strict. There might be like weeks where I might skip a few days or something. But overall, we want to develop that consistency where we are doing strength training at least 3 times a week. And if you're doing it more than that, make sure we're getting a different variety. If you're doing heavy strength training, you might do upper body one day, lower body the next day, throw in a yoga, something like that. You need a little bit variety. And so when you're doing strength training, you want to make sure that you're working all your muscles. So depending how you're doing it, this may be on the same day, it may not. But we want to make sure that we're using all of our muscles. So we want to use our legs, we want to use our arms, our back, our chest, because this really helps to balance our body. So for example, if you've seen maybe guys who like to do chest presses and work their chest a lot, the shoulders will start to become rounded forward, like hunched over a little bit, if we're not working those back muscles and pulling everything back and sitting more upright. So we want to make sure that we're being strategic when we're laying out an exercise program. So we're working our muscles differently and we're working the different muscles. So the next question is, how many reps should you be doing? And this, you can have different goals, but in general, for most people, for most women out here just looking to get stronger, is I like to have people aim between 18 and really up to 20 reps. So when we're doing strength training, and here I'm talking with weights, body weights, if we're using the bands, aiming for 8 to 20 reps of an exercise is going to keep you in that sort of muscle building zone. So if you do less, that's definitely muscle building too, but sometimes that is usually a little bit harder on our bodies. It's hard to keep good form. So 8 to 20 gives you a good range of how many you should do. And let's say you're getting to that really 15 to 20 reps. So that means I'm doing bicep curls. I'm at 20. I can keep good form. Then what I want to do next is increase the amount of weight I'm using. So say I was using 5 pounds. I'm going to increase to 8 pounds. And then I may only be able to do 8 reps of that. And then we might do that for a while. Then we might be able to bump up again. You're also going to find a point where you sort of plateau a little bit. And that's where you also want to start adding in a variety of exercises. So we have bicep curls where our palms face forward and we can do that. We can do hammer curls where our palms are facing towards our side. We can do different variations with the way we pulse, coming half up, coming down. There's a lot of different ways to work the same muscle group. So in my training, I'm making sure that I'm giving clients a variety of ways to work the same muscles too. And that's especially important as you keep working out, because you don't want to keep doing like the same set of exercises for months. You want to have variety so that you're training those muscles in different way. That also helps us to be more functional as we go to reach and grab things or get up and out of a chair. We usually move more dynamically when we just do things throughout our day. So we want to make sure that we're also training our muscles that way. And the next question is, how long should a session be? And there's no right or wrong answer. If you guys know me, I usually like things quick. So it depends where you are. If you haven't exercised at all in years and years and years, or maybe you never really have, I like to start clients with 5 to 10 minutes and really focus on learning the correct form and how to do exercises correctly, because we have muscle memory. So if I am learning a squat and I'm doing it incorrectly, I'm training my brain to do it that way, and it gets hard to unlearn that. So we want to make sure that when we're doing exercises, we're in a good position. For example, with a squat, we don't want our knees to go over our toes because that's going to put stress on the knee joint. We want to be able to sit back into that squat a little bit more, take the pressure off our knee joints. So we want that to be a pathway in our brain that it knows how to do that. So for me, I typically don't do strength training longer than 30 minutes. Of course you can, but listen to your body. So start where it is. You can start with 5, 10, 15 minutes. Maybe you work your way up to 30. But doing something that you can stay consistent with is the most important thing. So I've seen this with my clients. They come to me not really knowing how to strength train. Maybe they're a little afraid to exercise because they don't want to get hurt. And they're just sort of stuck because there's all these different things out there and they are not sure what to do. And once they have started using my app that I do my personal training in, this is where I create custom exercise routines for people, including all the things we've talked about. And when they start to stay consistent, they start to see that change in their body. One of my clients I've been working at with over a year, we started her at the beginner phase, working on 10 to 15 minute workouts, really learning how to do the exercise correctly. And now she has progressed to more level 2, a little bit harder workouts because she has stayed consistent with it. She's learned how to move her body correctly. And now she is stronger. Her muscle mass has increased. Her fat mass has gone down. So consistency is really the key. And if you guys need a little freebie to get started, there's going to be a link down below. I have a 5-day exercise challenge. It's 5 days. There's 5 different workouts and they are 15 minutes a day. So this is a great way to get a little taste of how to do some strength training. There's also some days that have yoga in there. So there's going to be a link down in the description below, or you can check out my website, michellereekman.com, and I have a page with some of my freebies. So guys, I encourage you, if not knowing what to do to exercise is holding you back, then I encourage you to set up a call or sign up for my personal training app, because here you're going to have everything laid out for you. You're going to have the accountability from me, and this is huge for a lot of people, why they're not getting started or staying consistent. So if you're ready for something different and you want to start making changes that you can stick with, then let's chat. We'll work on helping you to get in shape so that you can feel better. And guys, my personal training app, you're going to have the workouts laid out for you that you can do at any time. And this also helps to create a huge savings versus having a one-on-one trainer that you have to meet live each time. So by using this personal training app, it's a lot more affordable to have a personal trainer app. Plus, you're going to get habit coaching and you're going to be able to message me whenever you need it. And also, guys, on all of my one-to-one services, I have a 20% discount for teachers, nurses, frontline workers, military, and military spouses. So if that's you guys, just send me a message or set up that free call and I'll get you guys that discount code. All right. So I hope that this episode was helpful. I hope it gave you a little bit more idea of what it means and how it would look to strength train. I encourage you guys to check out that free 5-day exercise challenge. And also don't forget, head to my Facebook group or my Instagram to join the Pamala Health